approach your 40s, you start to have a tingling effect. And I noticed that I wasn't feeling well, trying to get up in the morning. I was overweight, high cholesterol, and I decided that it was time to do a lot better for myself physically. I have none of those sensations anymore. I would say a noticeable difference within the first 6 months, and my cholesterol lowered by 80 points. 80 points is a lot, because I did not want to go on any medicine, to lower the cholesterol. What advice would I give to somebody? Just do it. Don't procrastinate.
Well, once you are a vegetarian, you're helping planet Earth, because if we eat meat going further and further up the food chain, causing more and more energy to be used, more water to be used. For instance, production of beef is one of the most water-intensive things that we could do, because you have to grow all of the feed. Yes, being a vegetarian is a great benefit to the environment. Less air pollution, less water pollution, less use of natural resources, less transportation costs, which are responsible for less oil, water pollution. And we realize that there's other aspects of feeding oneself is foraging. Our native peoples were foragers. The old story of give a man a fish and feed for a day, teach him how to fish and feed him for a lifetime is apocryphal, but it used to be true when there were more fish close to shore. We used to think that the sea was as full of fish in the middle of the ocean as it was by shore. So we do have to be careful how we utilize the environment. So it's an interesting future here that we have. I have one student aiming towards Meatless Mondays. If we could get an entire town to go to Meatless Mondays, how much could we save? And there's a concept of secondhand food. It's all that food that gets thrown away from origin because it's out of date or it's blemished. And I think back to when I travel, sometimes the blemished fruit is the best tasting, the richest. And in many of the places I travel around the world doing my studies, what we find is that nothing is wasted. The food gets recycled. All the excess food goes to the farm animals, goes to the chickens. There are some areas where the growth and reproductive rates of the natural organisms are maybe good for a few people, but not many in one area. So we do have to be careful.
What a lot of people say about, well, once you become vegetarian, you're so limited. I actually find that it's the opposite, because there's way more plants than there are animals. I can name about 4 animals that people eat. Chickens, cows, pigs. I cannot sit here and name all the plants I know that are edible. You find yourself diving into a more creative cuisine. Plus, it's way better for you. Dark leafy greens are just a really good thing for the body. It feels more natural to eat rice and beans and local grains and local food than it does to eat some chicken that's been in some place that I don't even want to think about eating something that it's not supposed to be eaten anyhow. I went to a farm and there was like cows in there and they were in this horrible, it looked disastrous back there. So yeah, so I guess it's more for the animal rights than the health that I